but it's something that we've always been preaching here on the podcast because we're always talking about cyberbullying. So now we're talking about bullying in general.
What Americans think is that the ruling party is the one that is saying that people should be killed and there should be a mass killing of Boers, right? That's the notion that America thinks is going on.
This thing is actually deeper than we think. And obviously, you know, people like your Elon Musk saw an opportunity as well because he want to operate his Starlink in the country. Holla, holla, holla. What's good? What's happening, ladies and gents, boys and girls? We are back. Welcome to another exciting episode of the best podcast in South Africa. We call it a Dot Trends podcast. Big shout out. Well, my name is Real Makivano. Obviously, the superstars are in the building. I see you rocking pink, so let's start by you, Mr. Pinky.
First of all, I would like to say I feel very discriminated against.
You can never feel discriminated.
You said Mr. You can't say Mr. Meanwhile, I'm wearing pink.
Should I say Miss Pinky?
Not Miss.
No, we can fix it. Okay, right. How do we fix it?
Today I'm non-binary, please.
Non-binary.
Thank you.
So-
they, them.
They, them.
Yes.
Okay.
What do we call you?
Don't box me into anything.
Don't say
Oh,
anything.
Pinky.
My pronouns are just literally they, them. No Mr., no Miss. Take those titles away. I don't need
For
them.
today only.
No, yeah, for today only.
Oh, okay, right.
For today only. What's
Sure,
happening,
Pinky
good
Pink.
people? We back at it again. This is your guy, your one and only boy, Denisha, the levitator with the triple F for fresh fly as well as fashionable. Today we might just add a little pink, and that is not for puss. But this pink, what? I said puss.
Oh, okay.
No, like puss in boots.
Oh, I thought my ears.
You guys come back.
I also thought $1,000,000 pussy.
Kwatonya, ka understand. Kwatonya. Take it away.
Brain freeze. What's good? What's happening, people? Welcome to the Dot Trends Kitchen with the chef again. My sous chefs here, Denisha and Gift Makivano. Guys,
sure?
I'm tired today. I'm sick. I'm so sorry. My
that again?
opinions might be sick.
What's that again?
Also, it's what give me, guys.
Like,
It's what give body.
Because you
Like
guys be
my
bored.
body is aching.
What's that again,
Nothing.
Malema?
Literally, I slept alone. I had no disturbances in my sleep. I slept.
Oh, so on some
I think the
other
problem
nights
is you slept alone.
No, I was about to ask Lohore,
Maybe-
on some
maybe I'm
nights,
sick.
do you not sleep alone? Is it not every night? Is it not?
Let's get into the business of the day.
Anywho, we are getting to the nitty gritty today. Ke batla le tshwara ka di washing, grain sharp.
Go ahead.
Ni. All right, so the first one is, what is the most spontaneous and reckless thing you've done on a night out?
I think for me, it was spending 4,000 in one night and also taking home someone that I'd categorize as not my type. Y'all cussed at me last week, so I'm choosing my words.
Yeah, because nobody's ugly, for real.
I never spoke about ugliness. You are
Last
bringing
week,
that.
that's what you said. You said people are ugly.
But you guys cussed at me, Nhle.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Lahore, beautiful as we were last week, what Lahore ugly people that just took me to bullying days.
Who was bullying you?
You.
Me bullying you?
You.
Yeah, well, I spent over 4K, I think, in one night.
And then you took home.
Yeah.
Not so type.
Not
No,
so
nani.
my type.
No, nani.
I was drunk.
So holy drunk on hand.
Pala, when you're drunk, you don't think with your brain.
Really?
You think with the genitalia.
Oh, you think your other head because obviously there's two heads
Yep.
involved.
What about you?
I
I've made
think
my confession. What about you?
I think when I'm drunk, okay? I think.
Okay.
What's the most spontaneous and reckless thing you've done on a night out?
A night out. I've done so many things. Okay, back in varsity, I was turning 21, so they bought me 21 shots of vodka.
Woo.
And I drank all of them, and we slept in a wardrobe.
God damn, how did you get into the wardrobe?
So when
They
we
wanted to
got
get
when
into
we
the
got to
closet.
Res, we played hide and seek with Hlumela. Shout out to you.
Hlumela hide
Shlums.
and seek in the closet thing.
Hlumela and Esite, and then Hlumela slept under the bed. I slept in the closet. So they left us. So we played hide and seek, and then
They didn't find you and you just
no,
slept.
and then we just slept in there
Damn.
after 21 shots of vodka.
God damn.
You're just lucky that you didn't get alcohol poisoning. Because
Well,
that is
I
so-
was ultimately sick.
Yeah.
I
makes sense.
had to take activated charcoal, and which didn't it didn't last long. Like the sickness didn't last long
You
because
want
I
to know
took
what we call activated charcoal in my language?
No,
Mahwana johl.
no, really,
Yeah.
no, really,
Yeah. Yeah.
no, really. Like
No, it does. Hangover, so that you
Yeah.
don't wake up hanging, activated charcoal capsules, or you take the powder.
I take the powder, the black powder,
If you feel like you have food poisoning,
activated charcoal.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why they give it to dogs when they've eaten. Oh,
It knows how to do the things. The most spontaneous and reckless thing I've ever done. Damn, I feel like I'm such a good boy.
Never.
And I'm
Unpack.
I would say, damn, what is the most reckless thing I've done?
I wish I had that.
There's
that
no way that you're
Nigerian.
gonna ask us and you have to be thinking
Drag it.
twice. Tell us.
Okay, it wasn't spontaneous, really, because it was my first time having Jaeger. It wasn't a night out. We were just having fun.
Oh,
I had Jaeger. No, it wasn't Jaeger. Jaeger is fine. I had Tanqueray. Yes. That's when I knew that me and Jin will never be friends, but now we are friends because, I mean, different brands
yeah.
treat people differently. So I
Yeah.
had Tanqueray. The night was good. The night was fun. I had some 420. Again, don't mix. And then I got drunk. And then as we were supposed to walk out of the club, I puked on the bouncer.
Okay, that's not bad. I mean, I feel
That's
like
bad.
no,
You're
they
picking on
use
someone.
No, they're used to it.
Yeah, I
like
puked- I
bouncers
puked-
Can
are
be.
just-
It
I
can
puked
be.
on the bouncer, got into the Uber.
And what did
on
the
our-
bouncer do?
What was he gonna do?
They used to, these people work with such people. They're used to it. I don't
What
think
picking on someone?
Yes.
No, Kampatel.
Then we got into an
Dying.
Uber, and then we drove, and then on our way back, I puked along the way, but that was like outside the window, so
Oh,
nobody was
okay.
affected. And then when we got dropped off and I was supposed to enter the residence, I puked on the security guard. It wasn't me though.
When are you owe the whole entire world? You owe the whole entire world. What the fuck?
But let's get to the nitty gritties. I think before we can even get into this, I want to talk about the Mummy Club season 2, right? Everybody witnessed how the season went. We
Not
had
everybody. I didn't watch the show.
I wanna tell you the truth, ne?
Yeah.
I don't watch TV
You don't watch TV
at all.
What do you watch?
Nothing.
Not even your baby.
Okay, well. Wow. But I don't watch TV. I don't watch TV that much. Like if I watched the Mummy Club season 1.
Yeah.
I watched the Mummy Club season 2. Once something gets redundant for me, I stop watching it.
Oh, yeah,
Because I
sorry.
feel like they're
Season
doing
3.
the very same thing over with different people.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why, like, if I watch a season, if I'm watching a season of, like, there's something called Unseen now.
Yeah, yeah,
right? I wouldn't
Yeah.
watch. If there was a season 3, I wouldn't watch it because it's
There's a season 2,
redundant.
we had
There's
a
a season 2
3.
now.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm thinking, okay, so what are they gonna do that's different now? It's redundant, same storyline. Like, I don't know, man. With Mummy Club, it's always a thing of they never get along. Always. Someone doesn't get along with someone. Someone is alliances
It's
with
battle of
someone.
egos.
Like, it's just it's the same thing with different people.
Yeah, well, this time around, we're not only battling with the battle of with egos that are in one room or one setting or one whatever it is. It is on season 3 right now, and we obviously had the OGs, which is Happy and Mrs. Sunday, and then we had other additional new mommies, right? And what everybody witnessed this season is that not only was it a season full of bullying, like the mommies were bullying each other, it also got me to a point where I now am starting to question what is the purpose of this show. It's called the Mummy Club. We barely see the kids. The kids that we only see is Happy's kid. We also seen Vui's kids. We also saw Mrs. Sunday's son. But the other ladies, we barely got to see their kids like that, you know. But mostly it was just the ladies attacking each other, bullying each other. And obviously yesterday, or rather the past weekend, that is when the reunion part 2 was released, and then everybody had to address the whole bullying issue. But the reason I want us to talk about this is because it's going to lead us to our next topic. But bullying is a serious thing, you know. I'm glad that this happened on screen, even though it was in unfortunate settings or circumstances, but it's something that we've always been preaching here on the podcast, because we're always talking about cyberbullying. So now we're talking about bullying in general. It affects a lot of things. It affects your self-esteem, your self-confidence, how you carry yourself, and how, you know, as you grow up, obviously, from primary school to high school to varsity, bullying does happen. And when bullying happens in those spaces, you get affected in a way. You start to have insecurities because now you are aware of how you look, and there's comparisons happening that, okay, since I have this, why doesn't this person have that? Why doesn't that person have that? So it means that I'm imperfect. So instead of building each other, the moments are just breaking each other down. But of everything, accountability, not only in bullying, but when it comes to apologizing, how do you guys take that? If you were to do something wrong to somebody else, how would you be accountable for that situation?
Goes back to what I said 3 weeks ago. Principles are very important for me.
Yeah.
Very, very important. If I do something wrong to someone, I ought to apologize, regardless of the fact that that person started it or they hurt me or whatever. But so let's say we have an argument, right?
Yeah.
Where I say bad things, but you started it by saying bad things, so I retaliated. I'm going to apologize for what I said, right? You have to. It's a thing of integrity, not even integrity, but like morals and values. You just need to make sure that whatever words don't come back, they don't go back. They hurt, right?
Yeah.
But you saying sorry does make it a little bit better, man. And I feel like with these shows, I digress, but then I feel like with these shows, right? Hey, man, it's pushed that they have these fights
Scripted.
just so that it can be watched.
Yeah.
And they don't see the magnitude of impact in terms of you are showcasing this to the world, and you are basically saying it's okay for people to treat each other like that. Like I literally hate propaganda when it comes to these reality shows, because honestly it just makes it worthless. You're saying it's the mommy club. We're talking about you being a mommy. What does like you having cars and having money and everything else have to do with everything? Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, nah. I don't like these shows.
I think I'm going to share the same sentiment with you as well. And you asked a very good question. What's the purpose of these reality shows? I think they are losing the plot along the way.
Losing
also,
lost. I feel like they lost it.
They lost it. They lost it. And I don't even want to dwell much into that. For me, right, the first season was good. The second season was third season pop for me. So my opinion on this is that they can cancel it. I don't give a shit.
Honestly, man, they must just cancel it. They must just go away.
Well, unfortunately, there's even other franchises in South Africa like Mommy Club, Sugar and Spice.
But that was
But
better also
that one is better because they build each other.
I was about to say that.
They come with the kids to the parties. That is mommy club.
It makes sense because they are being mommies, and we can actually get to see them being mommies. But this one around, it just taught me that out of everything, in as much as yes, it lost the purpose of what it is supposed to be about, but also it spoke a lot about humanity, how we are as humans. You know, it's one thing for you to be in the limelight and know that you have a brand and an image to maintain. And it's a totally different thing when you have to engage in conversations that need you to be an actual human. You know? Like, there was no humanity in all of the things that were done. There was no humanity in what was said. Yes, I do get in the reunion, everybody had to watch the whole season and reflect on it and see where they went wrong. And kudos to the mommies that actually took the accountability to say them sorry, because all of them eventually they were able to apologize, because we can have conversations and not understand each other, but it's up to us to make sure that we navigate through that conversation and find each other. It doesn't have to be on camera. If we fought on camera, cool, it happens. There's nothing we can do. It's done. Now, off camera, we at home, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. There are days where you're not shooting. Call the person that you feel like the conversation went south. call them, sit down with them, and actually talk to them. It doesn't only go to the show itself; it goes to even people in general.
These shows tire me. Like they just tire me because I feel like why are you pushing the narrative of women are supposed to hate each other? That's the only reason we could watch something. You know, like your basketball. What's basketball wives or what do you call those
Yeah, there's
shows? That
Basketball Wives.
the Atlantis and those people. The men are not there. We are talking about you being a basketballer's wife. We never see the basketballers. It's just you guys up in each other's throats fighting and that narrative is pushed just so that people can watch it.
So, in the context of Momi Club, are we saying the production team was the one that should be held accountable?
I don't think so because then if your morals and values don't allow you to do that, you won't do it. Regardless of the fact that it brings you money or whatever, you can choose a different trajectory to make money. You could choose a trajectory where you just build someone else and make money out of it. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because everyone is now fighting, and then when you come and say no, actually, I'm trying to build this person. It's gonna be different, and it's gonna be a different view of what other people see. So you're still gonna make money. You're still gonna make the news to say, oh, okay, this one is a little bit better than other people. Right.
I do see what you mean.
Yeah.
I would be happy for it to come back for season 4.
Nah.
And I'll tell you why. We learn as we go. I said this before, right? And I feel like this was a huge learning curve, especially for the momies that were part of the cast for season 3, you know. But maybe in season 4, we'll actually get to, we'll be driven back to the purpose of the show, what the show really is about or what it has to be about. But we'll only see in season 4. But as we're talking about narratives, it also makes me think about what is currently happening in America, thinking that there's genocide happening in South Africa. By the way,
Yeah, let's talk about serious stuff.
Where?
The Mami Club and I'm like, hey,
Where?
can we tap into juicy stuff?
the
Mami Club. The Mami Club can go chill. They can cancel it season 4. We don't want that. Let's talk about real stuff now. Yeah. Now we're talking.
Like the genocide.
I still can't get used to the fact that he pronounces his real as real. I'm sorry.
Reality show.
Wow.
Real Makibano.
Guys, did you see? Yeah, we're from a very crazy political week. Did you guys see Malema's response? Or do we, for context, obviously.
Let's build up.
Okay, right. Context, America has been saying a lot of stuff about South Africa. Fake news, to be precise, about the genocide that has been taking in our country. At some point, our delegation had to go represent the country and obviously speak the truth about what is actually happening. And yeah, it was a Julius Malema circus in that Oval House in America. The only thing that they ever spoke about was just, displaying Julius Malema and singing the old anti-apartheid song.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was just crazy. Also, we got to see pictures that are actually from Congo, which Trump actually said those pictures were taken from South Africa. So it's just crazy business. But Malema's response was, old men gathered in Washington, D.C., in an Oval House to discuss me. What do you guys feel about that? What's your take?
Do you want to take it first?
Yeah.
Okay.
I laughed, right? When I saw our president just saying, you see, it's not me. It's like he was tale telling. It felt so awkward because I feel like if you're gonna go on a notion of because what Americans think is that the ruling party is the one that is saying that people should be killed and there should be a mass killing of Boers, right? That's the notion that America thinks is going on. That is not it. So basically what Cyril Ramaphosa was trying to say is that this is not even a person who is part of the parliament. Yes, they do have seats, but they're not really the ruling party, right? They're just people that are part of the parliament because they won a certain number of seats, right? I get that. You playing the video to the whole world, for the whole world to see, you are just making things worse. Because then the reason why you went there is not going to be healed by the fact that you showed that this is the particular person that is saying. Boers are going to be killed anyways, right? Whether the ruling party is doing it or not. If this particular person is saying kill the Boers and they actually have a following in the country, what do you think is going to happen? They're still going to be killed.
Yeah.
So you are just supposed to say, listen, we're dealing with it. We're going to call this person out. As the ruling party, this is not going to happen. You showing the videos, you're just making things worse. I don't know. I think he just made it worse.
I mean, first of all, that was an anti-apartheid song, right? People still sing a lot of anti-apartheid songs.
Yep.
It's not only that one. Number one. Number two, Trump got this information from who? Say it with me.
Cyril Ramaphosa.
Elon Musk.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk was in the room as the two presidents were sitting down, having the discussion and all of that. Elon was just there. So my gut instinct is telling me that he gave that to Trump to be like, oh, and by the way, to support what I'm saying, this is what was being done or what was said or sang in South Africa by playing the footage of Malema singing the song. So that was like somewhat his evidence to show that there is really genocide happening in South Africa because the song says, kill the Boer. But he was there, standing, not saying anything. If also he had a seat, I would have been interested to hear how he got to the conclusion that currently there is genocide happening in South Africa.
Way.
When last was Elon Musk in South Africa?
Good
How-
question.
He's definitely
clued up-
American. He must just stay there.
How clued up is he with the current affairs that are happening in South Africa? I'm not talking about reporting. Reporting, even I at home, I can sit home and I'll still get reporting of what is happening around the country, around the continent, around the world. Everybody has access to that. Now, if you are going to be bringing something like this, because this is not only just a serious allegation, it's a serious thing. Because right now, South Africa is being looked at as, oh, the blacks are against the whites because they feel like their land is not being brought back. That is true. The land is not brought back.
But these issues are deeper, right? Because when you look into the whole entire thing, and not that I'm trying to move our attention from Elon Musk, there has been so many things that has been happening. I stand to be corrected. There's another war happening somewhere in Africa where South Africa is siding with the victims, and it's still the same apartheid shandies. America, it's siding with the other party. So obviously at some point, South Africa took the people oppressing, I think it's Palestine if I'm not mistaken, to the international high court, something of that sort. And obviously America is not happy. So this thing is actually deeper than we think. And obviously, people like your Elon Musk, so an opportunity as well because he want to operate his Starlink in the country. At the end of the whole entire thing that was happening at the Oval House, he also did say that he want to import Teslas to South Africa. So this thing, it's actually deep.
Yeah.
Then-
and don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Elon Musk is the one who's behind the genocide that is currently being said is happening in South Africa, right? I'm saying this because he was in the room when the video was being played. To show that this is evidence that, of course, genocide is actually happening in South Africa.
But I feel like if you have evidence that a genocide is happening, when you were watching the Jewish genocide, you saw people running, people being killed, people being shot, people let's see that. If it's a genocide, let's see that, because I feel like even with apartheid, as I said last week, there are actual pictures, actual videos that show people being killed, people running away from
And
the
there will be
police.
live reportings as well.
Exactly. So if there is a genocide, I feel like this is a circus, man. It's like, you guys are politicians and you fail to just say, okay, let's see the pictures. There's a genocide happening. Sorry about that. But let's just see the pictures, or let's see the actual evidence of people being killed.
Yeah.
Is it a genocide where people are just being followed into their houses and then they just break into what's happening?
show us the bodies. I get it's a mass killing.
Oh
Show
my
us the
gosh.
bodies. Show us that really this is what is currently happening.
This is mind blowing, man. It feels like a joke.
That's crazy. But did you guys see TD Maria? How? You didn't see that girl. She's been trending.
The reporter.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, she dealt with that American journalist.
But my thing with the American journalist is that he was too quick to speak over our South African journalist, which to me is just like, okay, right now you're sounding like an empty can. You're making noise, but you're not listening to what the person you're asking the questions has to say in response. What he was standing on is that I am sure about what I'm saying, and you're not going to try and convince me otherwise.
But
if that's
you don't
the case,
live here.
No, but if that's the case, why are we even sitting on the table, just the two of us trying to have a conversation about it? If you have your mind already made up, then why do you want to include me? Because if you include me, then it means we're going to have two different views.
Yeah.
I'm a South African. I know what's currently happening because I live there. I can tell you even right now, live, that there's nothing happening. You are an American. You heard that this is what is happening in South Africa.
Yeah.
But you ask me questions. Meanwhile, when I give you the answers, you try and oppose the answers that I'm giving you. And when I'm asking you to provide me with evidence, you don't know how to provide the evidence. The only evidence that you can point to is the video. Come on.
Crazy.
Come
Yeah,
on.
Malema.
What a time to be alive.
And I feel like that if that video happened like a month ago, then I'd say, ish, yeah, maybe.
Is it even a month?
Like,
Didn't even
it
happen this year.
happened like a year or two ago. And then now you want to take that video and say, yes, shame, man, they've been killed.
Hence, I'm saying this is actually deeper because if you also do a research, this goes back to Trump's first term because he's not saying this for the first time.
Was that about?
He might be.
Was that about 7 years ago?
Yeah.
He might be aggressive about it now. Hence, I'm saying this thing is actually deeper than we obviously think because from his first term, it was Trump. Farms are being killed in South Africa. Whereas he can't even provide, concrete proof that these things are happening. And they keep on telling him that, look, yes, we have an issue with crime and it's across board. It affects everyone, not only specifically
Even
white
in
people.
America.
Exactly my point.
Crime
So
is everywhere, guys.
this is what I'm sensing from here. It's fight obviously over power, and obviously we have been distancing ourselves rather from America for some time because we have been working with BRICS, which is your China's, your Russia and all that. So I think it's a fight over power basically.
I mean, to go to the extent of even taking the US aid, like you understand
Why?
that this has been a program that has been supporting a lot of lives, right? And it's just very unfortunate to see how they retracted that, and some lives are going to be affected, or are rather affected
Already.
by that.
Already.
You know, are we making the world better, or are we saying, you know what, let's just start another war, or let's just see what's going to happen if we take this, we take that, we take that? The system was already working before the retractions.
As Gift is
Crazy.
saying, I feel like this is a fight of power, and yeah, you, what that man did. Like Russians are just gonna come and shoot all of us, because then they rivalries with America, right? So if you go there and prove your point to America to say that actually no, this is not happening, what's or not, we're not allied to America. Yes, we have a working relationship, but we are allied with Russia, man, because of the BRICS, right? So they are rivalries, and you just want to cause something big. Like, we don't want that.
True.
Like, I don't want to be putting bombs.
I feel like we still need.
Ish.
I'm sorry, can somebody resurrect Michael Jackson from the grave?
Why?
What?
So that he can come back and remind everybody that let's make
World
this world a better
peace.
place. World peace is
World
needed,
peace.
guys.
True.
And I know at home you might be thinking, oh, this is not a worldwide issue, but come on.
It is.
still
It actually is now.
peace.
It actually is, because America propaganda, everyone shows it to everyone, and yeah.
It's just crazy.
And I mean, I love America.
You do?
Nah.
do.
Nah.
I love America.
You
I
need
like
to
Japan.
work with Americans to understand American.
knew it.
better.
I
Once you
said that because
understand-
he was going to go there.
No.
Nah.
I would
What do you guys
not
wanna talk
go to-
about?
I would go to Tokyo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Why would you want to go to Tokyo?
Fashion.
Yes. Yes.
Fashion.
Today, I'm here.
Anyway.
This is on it. Okay, can we zoom in? Are we able to zoom in? I just want everybody to see that these are natural.
I hope that you're not gonna regret, because last week you were regretting your other weeks.
The only thing I
Look.
regret right now is that I'm sitting here listening to you saying all of these things.
No, I have to remind you. Anyway,
And
what's
it's
also
okay.
trending?
What is also trending is Mawhoo.
Ay. Same shit that we speak about. It's just that this time it's not her suing someone because they didn't get the deal. But it's her being sued by Blue Entertainment. Is it Blue Entertainment?
Yeah.
Blue Ray Entertainment of something of that. Because she
That's
called
the company
them,
that brought Rick Ross to
Rick
South
Ross.
Africa.
yeah.
Oh,
She called them scammers, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, I think everybody's just suing everybody. Like, King, are we getting poor? Like, what's happening?
I can't say we're getting poor because if we're poor, then why are we suing each other?
Like, what's happening? Like, what's this
Ethicates,
thing of
media
like,
training. Ethicates.
every week there's someone being sued.
So
There's
let's talk
someone
about the
being
chat
sued.
behind the suing that is happening, right? Mawhoo is saying she wasn't paid by the entertainment. The entertainment said they did. And Mawhoo
In
is
cash.
saying no.
In
And
cash.
full.
Yeah.
Yeah, in full.
cash.
They literally booked her and paid her in full.
In
That's what
cash.
they said.
But Mawhoo is saying you can't expect me to perform. Meanwhile, ngpatela like a day before. Meanwhile, you have an international artist that is already being paid for. So that is like something that I get from her. If it is true that
What's
she was
happening?
paid the day.
Yeah, but that's a valid point there.
Yeah. Because if it is true what she's saying that you can't pay me the day before the event is supposed to happen and then you have an international artist, which I mean, event organizers, they don't just call international acts and be like, oh, come, we have this event happening, we will pay you a day
After,
before, whatever.
yeah.
In order for the international artist to come, they will be
Why
paid
would I
for.
fly 18 hours?
You know, you have to cover expenses.
Yeah.
So those were covered. So if Mawhoo's were not covered, then I feel like she does have a valid.
Yeah, she does. In that
Point.
case, she does.
But the entertainment is saying, oh no, honey, we paid you.
They're saying they paid her in full and suing her 1 million.
Did she actually perform?
That's one thing that I've been trying to double check, right? But according to research, she posted actually. There was a week around that event saying, hey, I'm going to be performing at this event. So also she was wrong if she wasn't paid to be, posting an event that you
No
don't
ways,
have other
gift.
money.
No ways.
Let me tell you something. That happens a lot. And not only with big artists, but it happens a lot with, people that are kind
just say
of,
artists in
still
general.
on their rise. You're going to be posting an event a month before you could be paid. You could get paid. And one, that's free marketing. For you, you're marketing that event for them. Makazi, today, she charges to post to avoid having to market an event and the next thing you don't get paid. So those are some of the things, obviously, that we need to look into. You can't be paying me a day before because what you are basically saying is that I'm not booked because I have an open schedule and obviously I'm going to fill those days with gigs. If you're going to pay me today, chances are I have taken another gig on that particular day.
And I'm thinking sometimes it's just that we don't know the agreements around these things, right? It's a he said, she said kind of situation because we don't know what their agreement was. Re tlo dula mo ra bua thata, kante vele batho ba dumelana gore, no, dude, I'll pay you the day before, right? And she would say, no, actually, we did not agree on that. And then the entertainment would say, actually, we did. So who do you believe? Because we don't even have, when these people sue each other, they don't show the proof to the world. They don't. They
But,
just tell
yeah.
you that I'm suing this person and there's no paper trail to it. We can't even say facts because we don't have the paper trail to anything.
But
Yeah.
my thing is, ethically speaking, right? I can never want to pay you a day before you perform. The fact that, yes, we might not have all the facts around this because it's still a developing story. We're going to follow it. But my thing is, you can't want to pay me a day before. What if on that particular day, I took another gig because you took forever to pay me? Because you need to know that this is my livelihood. I survive through gigs.
First come, first serve.
Then I took
Exactly
it.
my point. So hence I'm saying, ethically speaking, for me, it's a no.
No, well, it is a no.
Yeah. So we're gonna
I
follow
hate
the story and
agreeing
see
with
what's
you.
what.
I
But
hate being on your side.
yeah,
You hating on his side.
I'm an entertainment guru.
Because-
There's no way that you're not gonna
Hey.
be on my side.
But anyways, it's
I am an
entertainment guru.
entertainment guru.
Just a quick one.
Yeah.
NPA cannot issue an warrant of arrest to Kelly Khumalo because there's not enough
I think
there's no
that's fair.
sufficient evidence.
I think that's fair.
To arrest her. So obviously, the TL had a lot to say about this. We had a lot of different views. Others believe that it should happen because obviously this trial has been happening for years on end.
5 years to be exact.
We also seen that the people who were actually involved in the assassination, they provided phone records and we feel like that is sufficient proof. But then also there is another part that is like, nope, that is not sufficient proof, because in as much as he's saying A, B, C, D, E, F, G, my client here is not in any way involved in what you are talking about. So for a case that has been dragging for so long, do you guys feel like it's high time to just put it to rest?
Rest in terms of arrest.
Oh, what? I hate it when you get smarter than me. I hate it. I hate it.
Mama.
Are we arresting Khumalo? Everyone can see through this. Everyone knows what's happening, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like the only truth that can be told is by her. She knows what happened, right? And one thing about cases is that even the innocent can be jailed because wrongfully because of evidence, right? And people who actually did things can actually get away just because they have representation. That is so great. Like what's happening now with Khumalo, right? I'm not saying that she's guilty, but is the evidence that she was involved? Yes, absolutely. So your involvement in the case should be evidence enough to say why. Why were you involved? Why are you speaking to these people, right? And I feel like that is enough for you to incarcerate someone and be like, okay, until we get evidence. Because that's what happens most of the time, right? People are arrested until there is enough to say, okay, now we are charging you and you are guilty and you go and then you're being sentenced. Isn't that what happens? Like most of the time.
Something of that nature, but also it depends on your defense force, right? If you have a strong defense force, most likely you're never gonna see, the cells. It's just going to be back and forth. Here's my opinion around the whole entire case. It dragged so long. A lot of people died in the process. I don't ever think that, we will get a conclusion, because if someone is going to die, especially people in high places, that's tampering with, information that could support the case. So I'm with you on that one. I don't think we ever going to get to a point where we have a proper conclusion. I mean, why is it also taking so many years when people witnessed the whole entire thing in the house, and 5-6 years later, we're still sitting without an arrest?
And there were people there. My issue is that there were people there.
What more evidence do we need?
There were people. Why don't those people say, hey, it is people abanadi conscience, and they don't have, but it's fine.
Crazy.
Yeah, but then I mean the justice system has to verdict correctly and accurately, because you can't wrongfully arrest somebody. You could be sued for that.
Yep.
Again.
Yeah.
Today was just the day of suing. But then also at the same time, you're guilty, but we're saying, no, there's not enough evidence for us to actually arrest you, because
But we can
don't
see through it.
that you are guilty in this case. So right now, nobody can really say, especially in the justice system, nobody can really say or rule out a verdict to be like, she's guilty or she's innocent. My thing is, sure, right now we're reading about the NPA saying that they cannot issue out a warrant of arrest. What is going to happen? Are we still going to have more trials and more appeals?
More trials, more appeals.
It's been
more
boring.
Emotional damage
It's
to
been
the
boring.
Mawhoo and family. What's his name? Since the Mawhoo
Yeah,
family.
the Mawhoo family.
Yeah, it's been
crazy.
mooring, and I think the word more right now is hurtful, and it doesn't know what more to give. But hey,
let's get out of
Ariti,
here.
maybe one day we'll be sitting here to give an actual verdict, but right now, still a very state of confusion. We don't know whether we're going
crazy.
left, we don't know whether we're going right. But one thing about cases that drag, honey, you're gonna forget. A lot of people forgot a lot of information around this case, because
Exactly
it's
my
been an
point.
ongoing thing.
Yeah.
So in a way, it's just like a lebalang up until nobody's gonna say anything.
They're like, not guilty.
And I actually saw, before we close, that around her trending, one of her songs, bam, Rich Gold. And I'm like,
And Mara also, she's involved now with Arthur Mafokate, so.
Are they involved or were they pushing music?
Music.
Yeah, they were pushing music, and they were working on a project.
But I mean, ultimately,
I don't think they dating.
Okay.
ultimately she deserves to be happy. If she is happy in another relationship, then so be it. You go for it, girl. I mean, life is Amy.
I never am.
You can see Amy life. I mean, if I'm innocent, my life is definitely not gonna stop. I'm still gonna continue living my life because I'm living my truth.
Like an innocent person.
Yay!
I am an innocent person. I am an innocent person.
Close the show. Let's get out of here. Close the show.
All right, ladies and gents, boys and girls, this is the end of today's episode. Hope you did enjoy it. As pink as we were serving a lot of.
Yeah, I know. No. Today, we were speaking like, Anyway, let me not say anything. I say Valene because I don't know
Just say you love my brain today. I love it too.
I don't know.
Don't forget to subscribe and use the hashtag road to 10K subscribers. We love the amazing work that you're doing on our shows, everybody. Let's do it again. Same time, same place, trendsetters. We are out.
Pinky
Out of
and
here.
the brain.